What up, you fluffy bastards? My name is Liquid Blitz, and today's video was going to be the second class in my superclass series, but sort of halfway through making that, a question arose which I wanted to give the answer to, but I realised I didn't know the answer. And this question was, does the bipod give you sort of a blanket high accuracy regardless of the position you're in, like prone or crouching or standing? Or is prone sort of more accurate with a bipod than standing at like a windowsill with a bipod? That's the question I want answered. I mean, you know, it would be nice to know if I should have been prone all this time rather than standing, because I prefer to stand. This is most important for using LMGs with a bipod, but it would be nice to know for everything, including sniper rifles. Firstly, we're going to take a look at all the basic information of how to use a bipod properly. Then we're going to run some accuracy tests using LMGs. And then finally, we're going to take a look at some general tips for playing with the bipod. The first and most basic point is that the bipod greatly increases your weapon accuracy. And it does this by reducing your recoil to almost nothing. There's still a bit of spread, but it's the recoil that's reduced to almost nothing, making it really accurate. The second point is that bipods can be used. This is so obvious that it's in the title, but you'd be surprised. Not everyone actually knows this. There's some guy commented the other day, not knowing that you could use the bipod while standing. The second point is you can use the bipod prone, crouching, or standing. All you need is like a surface to put your weapon on. Honestly, you try to record a video for YouTube, and your cat just sits on the back of your chair, weighing your chair backwards, making you fall backwards. Thank you, cat. Thank you for your input. Right, I've actually launched the game to help me illustrate my next few points. Firstly, the bipod is automatically deployed when you're above an eligible surface. Like, let's just say we go prone. There we go. You see the animation, it goes down automatically. Same if you run up to like a ledge. It automatically goes down. So you don't have to click anything, it's automatic. The second point is that it deploys on almost any surface as long as your gun is perpendicular, i.e. sort of against a surface. Like as I say, it's across the top of that ridge there. Like, you can put it down on anything. Like there, it's actually placed down now because I'm looking up on that. I mean, it can probably Jesus Christ, it can even go on the AA cannon. It can go on any surface as long as it's across the top of something. It's brilliant. I wonder if you can put it on like stairs. Oh my god, you can at the top of the stairs. I didn't even know you could do that. Like, crouch top of the stairs. That's an excellent position to put your bipod down in, seriously. Anyway, enough shit. The third point, also, I should point out very quickly that any position you can put the bipod in, you can put the AT rocket gun as well, so you don't have to be prone to use the AT rocket gun. Anyway, the third point is that when you put the bipod down, you have quite a large cone of movement. You see, there you go. You have a large cone of, sort of like a cone of movement without picking the bipod and the weapon up, which is excellent. So you can put it down, and then you can just move. You've got this entire massive, it's actually a really, really large range that you can aim without lifting the gun up. You can see when the gun's coming up. It's like, it lifts it up. But yeah, that's a really large area of movement, which means you can aim all over the place without losing the bipod accuracy, which is excellent. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to why you're all here, the accuracy tests. So that should be interesting. I'm going to do basically standing with a bipod versus prone with a bipod. So let's see how this goes. Right, now as you can see, I did standing, prone, and just with no bipod at all, and the one without bipod was just laughable. The first test was with the MG15 suppressive, and the second was with the Lewis gun low weight version. Now, it's my professional opinion, and I'm sure you can agree with me, there was zero difference between the accuracy with a bipod when you're standing versus when you're prone. They were exactly the same. So yeah, that's the result of that test. It doesn't matter whether you're standing or prone, it's just as accurate. Now let's move on to some general tips I have for you when you're playing with the bipod. The first of which is what I just said, and it's that because the accuracy is the exact same with a bipod whether you're standing or prone, I suggest you stand where possible, because it's a much faster escape. That's the main reason. If someone spots you or starts shooting you, it's much faster to get the hell out of there if you're standing with a bipod than if you're prone. Because if you're standing, you just turn around and run away straight away. But if you're prone, you have to stand up first and then get away. So if you're spotted and someone starts shooting you, especially a sniper who if he hasn't killed you with his headshot, then his second shot is going to kill you. You need to get out of there as fast as possible, man. So I recommend you stand where you can. Now, the second tip I have for you is very core and important, and that's to not stay in one place for too long. Basically, get a kill or two and then displace to somewhere, even if it's close by. Just move position a little bit, or if you've been spotted, then just stay behind cover for a few seconds. Wait for that spot to disappear. It can work wonders, seriously. Just keep moving. The next little tip I have for you is overlooked by almost everybody because they prefer using like regular grenades or grass grenades, but I suggest you use smoke grenades. And the reasons are twofold. First of all, when you're on a bipod and you're aiming down your sight, your telescopic sight usually, I mean, hardly anyone uses the sort of a low weight variety with a bipod. I mean, you tend to use a telescopic LMG or obviously sniper that has a scope, so if you use smoke grenades, you can throw them to your sides, so your sides are covered, so you can't be spotted or shot at from the sides, only from where you're down aiming, or behind you, but there's not going to be anyone behind you, really. Or the second useful point of smoke grenades is to stop yourself being spotted, because I don't know if you know this, but if you're on sort of in or sort of on the edges of smoke, you can't be spotted, and that's a big plus. When you're on a bipod, especially with an LMG, and a sniper, I suppose, once you're spotted, you're shit out of luck, because that's sort of game over. That's sort of the strength of the bipod completely ruined. So you need to avoid being spotted as much as possible. And the last little tip I'll give you is for LMGs, ignoring snipers now, for LMGs, burst fire is still more, I mean, as accurate as it is with a bipod when you're full automatic firing, as you've just seen, it's still more accurate and better to burst fire it over ranges of, say, 200 meters. I mean, you can easily get kills at like 300 and 400 meters. It's a really long range sort of like option using a bipod and LMG. But I suggest even with a bipod, you burst fire over very long ranges. Unless, of course, you're purposefully just suppressing rather than aiming to kill. But, I mean, how often do you do that? Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got for the bipod. No doubt, as usual, I've missed something incredibly important, because I always do. If I have missed something, or you can think of something that I've left out, leave it in the comments below, because I'm shit. I always miss something. Always miss something. Anyway, like this video if you liked it, like this video if you didn't like it, and join me for my next video, which is either going to be tomorrow or the day after, and that's going to be the second class in my super class series, and it's going to be a really fun class as well, and it's going to use an LMG with a telescopic sight, so join me then.